Hello, snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again. And today we're going to talk about commander cards. So, in case if you don't know, every time Wizards makes a set, if it's a standard set, modern set, etc., they will always make a supplementary commander set with brand new cards and few reprints that aren't standard legal. So, or modern legal, or what. So they don't affect format legality and they are only playable legacy, vintage, commander. Most of these cards are kind of useless in 1v1. However, there are some cards that have been proven to be used in other formats and are actually powerful. Some being played in Legacy, Dual Commander even, which is the competitive 1v1 version of the format. And we're just gonna go over some of those cards that may be a bit too powerful for Standard, Pioneer, even Modern, and also even compare them to cards that are legal in those formats or similar cards. You know what I mean? So we're gonna start off with our number 10. We have Broadside Bombardiers. This card from Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander. 3 mana 2/2 Goblin Pirate. Menace, Haste, Boast, sacrifice another creature or artifact to deal 2 plus the mana value damage to any target. So this card works by just you just shoot stuff. So it has haste and menace, meaning it will survive. Will most likely survive a combat, allowing it to be a good attacker. And the boast of it, since it can be done at instant speed, you can do it during the combat while it's getting blocked or something, or even post combat in response to triggers. So use this with evoke triggers. So you can evoke, for example, Solitude or Subtlety, Endurance, maybe even Fury or Grief if they were unbanned, for example, in Modern. And you could just you just do the thing, do the trigger, and before sacrificing it, sacrifice it, deal the damage. So you can do like between 5 to like 7 friggin' damage. I mean, this one is insane. Boast is only once per turn though, so you can't spam sacrifice like Goblin Bombardment, which Goblin Bombardment wasn't modern legal until very recently, where they reprinted it for Modern Horizons. But Broadside Bombardiers was part of the standard set, so standard Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander deck. So it's not in the main set, but it would have been too powerful to put in the main set. Imagine playing this with Core Steel or playing it with Phoenixes or stuff. Like, oh my god, man. Broadside Bombardiers is just too strong. Honestly, I'm glad this was not, standard legal, pioneer legal. Not even, doesn't even make it to modern. I mean, it's a literal commander card. But, it's commander, you just gotta let people have fun, right? I mean, let's go to the next one. So we have a functional reprint of Tendershoot Dryad, a card from Rivals of Ixalan. 5 mana, 2/2 Dryad that sends that. And at the beginning of each upkeep, you create 1/1 Sapperling. And if you have the Sage Blessing, your Sapperling get +2/+2. This was never actually a good card, honestly. And honestly, it was only played in Commander. Actually, I remember having seen this in Rivals of Ixalan Standard. I remember seeing this once, but it's a budget. It's like Verdant Force but cheaper, and it can also be a Sapperling Lord if you're building Sapperling Tribal, etc. And the Luster's Wonderglyph, it's most likely better, being printed in the new Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander deck. Instead of being green, it's white. It's a 2/2 artifact creature, Golem, Ascend, and instead of making your other Sapperlings +2/+2, if you have a Sage Blessing, it's your other artifact creatures. So not just the gnomes you create from the Luster's Wonderglyph, because it creates one gnome every upkeep. It also gives it to the other artifacts, because Sapperlings, I don't I believe there are no sapling cards. Like, it's only the sapling tokens and changelings. But this is just artifact creatures in general. Like, bro, Illustra's Wonderglyph is like is an upgrade on Tender Shoot Ride. So I can tell you, Illustra's Wonderglyph would see play in standard. Like maybe in blue white control, but it is it's an interesting card. I mean, you can also play it as artifacts and it basically does what Tender Shoot Ride does, but better. So yeah, let's go for number 8, and we got. Now we have a rare case of a downgrade. So Corey Steelcutter was in the main set, but Aligned Heart, which is probably worse than Corey Steelcutter, was implemented in the Commander set. So Corey Steelcutter, being a 2-mana equipped creature, gets +1/+1 and trample and haste. For Flurry, you get to create a 1/1 monk and put the Corey Steel on it, and equip for 2 mana. So Corey Steelcutter being a token engine in a token producer in red decks for mono red, is its decks, and its prowess. I mean, it creates tokens with prowess and just keeps on spamming more tokens. However, Aligned Heart is an interesting one. It's a free mana enchantment. With Flurry, when you cast your second spell each turn, put a rally counter on it, and then create a 1/1 monk with prowess for each rally counter. So, the first one's gonna be 1 monk. Second one's 2, then 3, then 4. Issue is, this is costing 1 more mana than Corey Steelcutter. The monks don't have haste. And it's a white card, it's not a red card. So, playing this in a prowess deck, is it mono red, is hard because you're gonna have to implement the color white, and that could slow down your game plan. I mean, the thing is, it will exponentially go higher, but if you're playing this in game 2, game 3, chances are your opponent's gonna use an enchantment removal and get rid of Aligned Heart, and we've done a worse job than what Corey Steelcutter could have done. So, yeah. I mean, if you can try with counter duplications, I mean, doubling season or something, I mean, and maybe, but no, doubling season, like, what, 5 mana? Don't try this, honestly. I mean, I'd say Aligned Heart is like, I mean, they could have, put, if Wizards actually knew what they were doing, they could have put Corey Steelcutter for the Commander deck and Aligned Heart in the main set. I mean, maybe they didn't know Corey Steelcutter was going to be too powerful. Now they banned it. Maybe they could legalize Aligned Heart. So, yeah. Just wanted to let you know. Now we're going to go over to a potential sideboard card. Number 7. This is Gerard's Hourglass Pendant. A 1-mana legendary artifact. With flash, if a player begins to turn, that player skips that turn. For 4 mana, tap, exile it to bring back tapped all artifact creatures, enchantments, and lands in your graveyard that were put there this turn. So basically, all non-planeswalker permanents. And you can do this at instant speed, by the way. Similar to how you can use an Hourglass Pendant in instant speed. So, this can let you like rewind time. And everything that just dies, I mean, to unboard wipe, for example. Like, you can float all the mana, or just let the board wipe happen. Charge Hourglass Pendant, and then boom, bring everything back. But, I mean, it's one-sided, meaning that you don't do it to the opponent, so. But the extra turns one affects both sides. So if you're playing extra turns, don't use Gerard's Hourglass Pendant. But, the thing is, since this is much cheaper than Ugin's Nexus, which is a 6-mana card that does a similar thing to stop extra turns and grant you an extra turn if it dies, Gerard's Hourglass Pendant is 1 mana, making it easier to combine with cards like Emrakul the Promised End, which lets you take control of an opponent's turn and then give them an extra turn. Just pay 1 more mana and you can Gerard's Hourglass Pendant and stop them from taking the extra turn, meaning you have a full turn to take control of them without passing back to them. Until so you can do so, it's your turn, take control of the opponent, and then go back to your turn. So technically speaking, you could take an extra turn with Emrakul by taking over the opponent's turn if you have Gerard's Hourglass Pendant. So, yeah. But it's also a good sideboard card to stop players that will take extra turns, like Time Sieve or something like that. Like they spam infinite extra turns, you can just Pendant, boom, no more turns. That's just a fate as well. So, yeah. Gerard's Hourglass Pendant will be a strong sideboard card, especially if extra turns becomes an actual issue. But other than that, Tron decks in Modern could use this card if this was Modern legal. Let's go to our number 6, and we got an interesting board wipe. We got Deluge of Doom, a nice alternative to Toxic Deluge, being 3 mana sorcery. All creatures get -X, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. So this lets you kill a bunch of creatures based on card types. And if you have Delirium, it's gonna be like -4/-4. So it's quite decent. Lets you kill a bunch of stuff, and you could even if you have more card types, it's even bigger. Best part is if you have a Goyf, Goyf's not gonna die. I mean, to Deluge of Doom. So yeah, in general, because Goyf is like card type +1, so it will survive a Deluge of Doom. So yeah, that's basically the Deluge of Doom. Underrated board wipe. It could be perfectly a standard legal card, Pioneer Legal. So yeah, honestly, Deluge of Doom. What if they could reprint Toxic Deluge in Modern? I think this could be like the standard / Pioneer alternative, because Toxic Deluge also originated from Commander, unironically enough. So yeah, that's basically Deluge of Doom. Let's go to our number 5. Ooh, a legacy favorite. Metamorphosis Fanatic. 6 mana 4/4 human cleric with lifelink. When it enters, bring back a creature card from graveyard to battlefield with a lifelink counter on it, and Miracle for 2 mana. This being played in a bunch of Miracle decks, Demir decks, Grixis, and the occasional Reanimation deck. Why? Because Miracle, man. I mean, you can use Brainstorm or Ponder or something similar to tweak the top card of the library and let it, be a Metamorphosis Fanatic. And once you draw that card, boom, you can cast it for 2 mana, bring back something, give it lifelink. You can bring back another Metamorphosis Fanatic to chain into another Metamorphosis Fanatic trigger and just bring something else back. So, yeah, this card is strong, man. I mean, so yeah, that's basically Metamorphosis Fanatic. They honestly, they could reprint it and they could make this standard Pioneer Modern legal, but I don't see how this is gonna really help, because unlike Legacy, standard Pioneer and Modern doesn't have many cards to help rearrange the top card, or set the card you want on top. So modern players start using Brain Surge, 3 mana instant that lets you draw 4, put 2 back on top. But Pioneer and standard players don't have that luxury either. Like, the best they have is Opt, Consider. They don't even let you have the card you want on top. So basically, putting this in standard and Pioneer this card could perfectly be standard, Pioneer, Modern legal, and it wouldn't see it play in any format outside of Legacy. So this card So this card honestly wouldn't change a thing if this was standard legal or not. So because well because outside of Legacy, the only format this could potentially see play in is Modern. I mean, of course, Commander, but that's like the whole point of this card. This is a Commander card, not a main set card. So yeah, that's basically Metamorphosis Fanatic. Let's go to our number 4, and we got from Modern Horizons, Barrelgoyf and Pyrogoyf. I mean, there is another Goyf that was green. I think it was like Tango Goyf or something, but it's too weak for Modern, being a worse version of Tarmogoyf, since it costs 3 mana. The only difference between Tarmogoyf and that Goyf was that it had the other Goyf had Trample and Myriad, and Myriad's useless in 1v1. So you're paying 1 extra mana for a Tarmogoyf that has Trample. When in black you have even better. Look at Barrelgoyf. 3 mana Lurgoyf that has Tarmogoyf's ability, Death Touch, and Lifelink. When it deals combat damage to the player, you may mill that mini card. If you do, you may put a creature from among them into your hand. So Barrelgoyf allowing it to grow itself by milling more cards as it hits players, and bringing creatures back. So it gives you card advantage and it grows itself. In addition to gaining life and being a really good blocker, since even if you have even if anyone has just one card type in a graveyard, it has Death Touch. So it is a powerful blocker. Pyrogoyf, on the other hand, being good for Lorgoyf travel. You can use Pyrogoyf with Barrelgoyf and Nevergoyf and even Tarmogoyf, and you could just deal a bunch of damage. I mean, it's a 4 mana Lorgoyf with Tarmogoyf's ability. Whenever Pyrogoyf or another Lorgoyf enters the battlefield under your control, Lorgoyf deals damage equal to its power to any target. Meaning that if you have Pyrogoyf and you put down Barrelgoyf is going to be dealing the damage, not Pyrogoyf. Meaning you would gain life from Barrelgoyf dealing damage with Pyrogoyf's trigger. To be fair, Barrelgoyf, I mean, if you're going with one of the original like Lurgoyfs, I mean, if you're going with something like Tarmogoyf ability, then it's going to deal damage equal to Pyrogoyf's power. However, not all Goyfs are like this. Nevergoyf is just one-sided. Although it's 1 mana, it only counts your card types. And of course, escaping would have to reduce, the card types, forcing you to exile Delirium worth of card types in your graveyard for 3 mana. But there's another one. There's a Necrogoyf, I think, which has cycling and counts creatures in all graveyards. And the OG Lurgoyf also counts creatures in all graveyards. And there's different Lurgoyfs as well, but not all of them are modern legal. In fact, I don't think any of the OG Lurgoyfs are modern legal. I mean, yeah, Barrelgoyf and Pyrogoyf would actually be a powerful duo. I mean, Barrelgoyf probably more powerful than Pyrogoyf if they were modern legal. The green Lurgoyf from Commander decks? No. Yeah, that's basically... So yeah, that's basically, since it's Modern Horizons, this has literally no intention of being in the Standard or Pioneer. I was just talking about Modern for this card, because it's Modern Horizons Commander. I mean, what else? Now let's go to the next one, from Modern Horizons. And it is... Ulalek, Fused Atrocity. A Wooburg hybrid colorless legendary Eldrazi. 2/5. 5 mana. When you cast an Eldrazi, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, copy all of the other spells on the stack that are yours, and then copy all the activated and triggered abilities. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, let's break this down. So this card could be played in the Tron decks, Eldrazi decks, and it's quite easy to cast because all you need is just colorless and a few colors. I mean, you you could use a green, a red, maybe even hell, you could get blue, and of course you generate a bunch of colors. I mean, the Ulalek casting Ulalek will not be an issue if you're playing Eldrazi. So, because since this is a Modern Horizons card, we're only talking about Modern here. We're not talking about Standard or Pioneer. And just imagine so many triggers you could do. Look at this, kicker triggers, man. I mean, if you go for, if you're going for, you know the the what's it called? Oh, so mix spawn, pay the 2 mana and kick it. You get to exile 2 lands and search for 2 lands, in addition to having 2 mega spawns. And if you have a flash Eldrazi, like there are some Eldrazi with flash, you could flash it in, pay the mana, and then you just continue copying the stack, like, and all the cast triggers, ETBs, and I mean, man, Ulalek is freaking busted, man. I mean, if you can spam Eldrazi, and I mean, since mana's not really an issue in Eldrazi decks, especially Tron decks, you could spam so much mana and Eldrazi with Ulalek. Damage triggers as well. Eldrazi spawn triggers as well. Oh, and don't forget CODZ command. CODZ command is also an Eldrazi, which means you could just cast it, pay the 2, and boom, a lot of spawns. You're gonna get double the spawns, double the removal, double whatever. And man, there's a reason why this card is not modern legal. So yeah, maybe not one of the biggest Eldrazi, but it is indeed very powerful. I mean, what do you expect from a fusion of Ulamog and Kozilek? Well, let's go to the next one. This one from the Lord of the Rings set. Legolas's quick reflexes. This being, so we're going to talk about modern here. We're not going to talk about standard or pioneer. But, well, it's a defensive card. It's, like hardened scale. Not hardened scale. I mean, blossoming defense or snakeskin veil, whatever. I mean, even, there's Veil of Summer. But this is a 1 green instant, split second, and untap target creature, until turn, gains hexproof reach, and if it becomes tapped, it shoots equal to its power to a target creature. So what you can do is you can use this. It's both an offensive and a defensive card, allowing you to use it to save a creature, use a creature to block it, one that's not counterable or interruptible. So the opponent's bolting, creature, and you do Legolas's quick reflexes. They cannot respond by casting another lightning bolt on the same creature or unholy heat or whatever. And another interesting thing is that if you use it on a creature that can tap to do something, like one that could ping or a mana creature, like Ignoble Hierarch or something. I mean, to be fair, Ignoble Hierarch is 0/1, so not that one. Something else, that adds mana, that taps for mana. Boom, shoot the damage to kill creatures. So it's a removal, a defensive card, a protection card, and it's uncounterable. I mean, all this for 1 mana. I mean, it's not really a modal spell, but you can do this with many different tricks. I mean, you can do this on your main phase before attacking. You could do this. You could use this on a creature that's tapped and then untap it to block a creature. You could use it on a creature that's about to die, so you can hit it with this. Hell, maybe that creature is tapped, and then you untap and you have an extra blocker. I mean, maybe the creature even has a tap ability, a mana ability or something, and then boom, you can shoot the damage equal to its power. Yeah, it's crazy what you can do with Legolas's quick reflexes. But yeah. Anyways, last but not least, we got these are a series of lands from the Modern Horizons commander decks, which could be played in Modern, and we're not going to talk about Standard or Pioneer because these are too strong for Standard or Pioneer. So, Planar Nexus is everything. So, automatically gives you Tron. It's not like it's not basic land types, but it counts as a gate, counts as a town, counts as a cave, counts as uh, a lair, counts as what else? A locust. It also counts as an Ursus and a desert as well. There's like so many. A gate, I remember I mentioned gate, but I mean, it's just everything. And since mine tower, power plant, count as as uh, as land, since it counts as land types, planar nexus will have them, meaning that you have planar nexus and you already have Tron. You don't need all the pieces. You could just have Urza's towers and planar nexuses. But it just taps for cards or just filters one mana to add one mana of any color. Horizon of Progress, being an alternative to Reflecting Pool, forcing you to pay life to do so. But you can ramp with this card by paying 3 mana and tapping to put a land from your hand on behalf of your tapped. And since it's a Horizon, look, Horizon of Progress, it will have the Horizon Canopy ability. 1 mana tap, sacrifice it to draw a card. So it's technically another Canopy land, the Wooburg Canopy land, which can even ramp you if you need to. So it's interesting. But honestly, Reflecting Pool would probably be better than Horizon of Progress. What else we got? Tanning Gates of Madra, land that can be flashed in. It's a gate. When it enters, up to one target creature phases out. Tap for cards. Filter, same as Planar Nexus, but for 4 mana, you can flash it in from your hand. So, it's a land you can ramp by flashing it in by paying 4 mana. You could do this on an opponent's turn to stop an attacker, or even phase out one of your own creatures to stop a removal. So, but if you play this as a land for turn, you could just phase out an opponent's and one of the opponent's blockers and just attack, stop them from blocking. But we also got another one, Lazotep Quarry, a desert that basically taps for colorless. You can tap and sacrifice a creature to add 1 mana of any color, similar to Firestin Tower or similar stuff. And for Eds, 2 tap, sacrifice a desert, adds out a creature with MV Eds from your graveyard, and create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 zombie. So basically allows you to eternalize creatures from your graveyard by sacrificing deserts and paying their CMC +2. So yeah. Oh wait, MV, not CMC, my bad. But yeah, it's basically, so yeah, those lands, very powerful utility lands that can add mana of any color, technically, because Planar Nexus, Tanning Gates of Madra can filter, Horizon of Progress, adding whatever you already have, and Lazotep Quarry, allowing you to sacrifice creatures in order to get mana of any color. Now we're going to the combo and the non-bow, and it is a fitting combo for this podcast. This combo was played against me in a dual commander tournament with Acererak the Archlich as a commander. So how this combo works is that Acererak the Archlich would get his cost reduced to 1 mana with Heartless Summoning. Relic of Legends allowing you to tap the Acererak for mana at instant speed. I mean, without haste. So you play Acererak, flow 1 black, venture into the dungeon. Don't do Tomb of Annihilation. Do Lost Mines of Phandelver and Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and then bounce Acererak. Use that same black to recast Acererak, do the thing, and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. Oh, this means you get infinite dungeon entries. I already did this combo with Rooftop Storm and Omniscience, but I didn't see there was an interaction with Heartless Summoning and Relic of Legends to make this in a mono black deck with Acererak as your commander, meaning it's technically a 2-card combo because Acererak is your commander. You have your commander and then 2. Instead of a non-bow, we're going to talk about an evolution of cards. So we're going to talk about a card that has basically improved. How we improved. So back in Zendikar Rising, we had Relic Robber, a free mana 2/2 Goblin Rogue with haste. When deals combat damage to player, creates a 0/1 Goblin construct that cannot block, and at the beginning of upkeep deals 1 damage to you. So Relic Robber, leaving behind creatures that the opponent basically cannot use, and is just a burden to the artifact creatures, not just creature. But Deadpool, being an alternative and just better. It's a 4 mana 5/3 legendary mutant mercenary hero. As it enters, you get to swap his stat spots with someone else's. So you don't even have to tap with Deadpool. And since Deadpool gets to take someone else's stat spots, you can do ETB triggers and a bunch of other stuff with your Deadpool. Deadpool swap with Aragorn, for example, makes you the Monarch, and the other creature will be left with 0 abilities and will force its controller to lose 3 life each turn and have a sacrifice cost. Pay 3 mana, sacrifice this creature, and give the opponent a card. That's basically the thing with Deadpool. How we've improved. How we went from Relic Robber, a useless standard card, to Deadpool, a really powerful dual commander. I've seen it also in CDH as well, so Deadpool's no joke. But yeah, congratulations. You've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe and follow my Twitch channel if you haven't already. Share friends. Follow my TikTok channel and my other stuff. Stay tuned to my next videos, streams, and podcasts. Podcasts will be live every Tuesday, 4:30 GMT. So stay tuned to them. Watch my other videos too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And bye.